My name's Sophie and welcome to the Yarn Stories podcast, the pilot, a knitting and crochet podcast. So I have become obsessed with knitting and crochet podcasts lately and thought I'd give it a go myself. Talk about what I'm working on and what I'm finishing, and I thought it would be quite a nice way to keep track of my current projects and ideas, because there's so much I want to do, and I thought this would be quite a nice way to share what I'm doing, write it down, keep a log, keep a track of it, and hopefully meet some nice people along the way, get some new tips, share some tips and all that good stuff. So let's start with what I am wearing. Now this is the Happy at Home hoodie by Evelyn and Peter. It's got lovely long split hem. I'll insert a picture as well so you can see it. And a hood. And a lovely I-cord as well. This I actually started last summer. When I saw the pattern come out, I just absolutely loved it. It's my kind of thing, and it's now the perfect weather to wear it, really, because it's in the winter. It doesn't keep me really warm, but this is perfect for just throwing on when I'm chilling around the house at the moment. The pattern is a free pattern that you can download from Evelyn and Peter, and it's really easy. The most difficult thing about it was the ribbon around the cuffs and the hem, because crochet ribbon can be quite laborious, but it's a great pattern and I would recommend it. I used King Cole 50% bamboo and 50% cotton yarn, which is not the recommended yarn, but it's the same makeup essentially. I don't think I could get the colour I wanted at the time, can't remember, but yeah, I'm enjoying wearing this at the moment. Let's go on to what I'm currently working on. Actually, let's start with finished objects. So I am a crocheter first, and I only started to knit just before Christmas. Kind of taught myself to knit whilst watching the Queen's Gambit in the lead up to Christmas. And the reason I wanted to start knitting was so I could knit socks. I bought a ball of Paintbox sock yarn years ago, and it's just been sat in my stash waiting for me to learn how to knit, because crochet socks aren't the same. You don't get the same fabric when you crochet as you knit. So it was just sat there, and I've tried knitting a number of times, but because I crochet first, having the yarn in my left hand and throwing it was very unnatural. So I kept trying and kept giving up. And then I discovered continental knitting. So I gave that a go and it just seemed to click. And purling was obviously quite tricky to start with, but I followed Aran and Carlos and learnt the Norwegian way to purl. And yeah, it's great. So my love for knitting began, and the first thing I started with was actually a knit kit from We Are Knitters that I got for my birthday last year. And then once I'd done that, I started on the socks. I found the Nitty Natty tutorial on YouTube for toe up magic loop socks, which I think now looking back was quite ambitious, because it seems cuff down are preferable. But I gave it a go, got on well with it, and really enjoyed it. So from there I then found the Crazy Sock Lady podcast and wanted to give all of the different methods of sock making a go. So I tried with some DPNs, which were really tricky to start with, but once I got in the swing of it, I really like DPNs. I then went on to 9-inch circular needles and I made this pair. So this is using an Opal, I don't think I've got my ball band, Opal sock yarn. It's called Butterfly, and I've pretty much lined up the stripes. The toe is a little bit off. I haven't blocked these yet, hence why they look a little bit funny, and they've also turned out a little bit big for me, but completed socks nonetheless. So I was really happy with them. So they're finished, and they worked up really quickly. Once you're doing the leg or the foot, it's just mindless knitting, which is great for watching TV in the evenings. Second finished object is actually a crochet project, which I finished last night whilst on the Flock Zoom call, which is an online, well, it's normally an in-person gathering, knit night, knit group in Bristol, but they've done online one. This was the first one that I've been to, and it was really great. It's hosted by John and Claire of Bird Street Yarn, and we met Heather from HG Designs, who's a crochet designer focusing around the granny square, which is great. So we had a Q&A there, and then we split off into break rooms for chit chat, which was great. Met some new people, one being Bex Creates, who I'd actually started watching her podcast earlier this week, and been in contact with her about test knit for some socks she's got coming out soon. So it was really great to meet her and chat to her. So yeah, whilst we were on the call, I finished this jumper. Which is a free pattern on the Bella Coco website using, or it might be the Crochet Society website. I think it's Crochet Society actually. And it's using Paintbox cotton, and it's not sure how well you can see, but it's got this kind of wavy pattern. It's cropped. There are 3/4 length sleeves, and ribbon around the sleeves, well, kind of thick ribbon around the top and bottom. So I finished that, but I didn't get my measurements right when I was planning this project, so it's gonna be too small for me. I'm gonna block it. I should have blocked it before I seamed it, but I'm gonna block it and see what happens to the size, see if it grows. It is cotton, so I'm hoping I can stretch it, block it, and it will stay bigger. But if it's too small, then I'm gonna gift it to a friend. So it's nearly finished. I would say it's finished. I just got to block it and weave in a couple of ends, but to me it's as good as done. So that was one I finished last night. That's actually all I've got finished lately. I seem to have multiple projects on the go, so finished projects are a little slow. We'll move on to what I'm working on instead. So stay on Crochet Society at the moment, so I do subscribe to the Crochet Society box, and not sure what number box this is. It's a couple of boxes old, I think, maybe 2 boxes old. I want to say 22 or 23. It's this lovely nighttime theme, and in this box came this lovely Bella Coco crochet chunky wool. Is it Tea Time Chunky? It's called. 2 colourways. It's this kind of blush beigey type colour and a grey, and one of the patterns is this Pure Bliss handbag design by Marta Marquez, the Instagram Busy Crochet Bug, and I just think it's going to be a great project bag. I love the colours, I love the stitch, and being super chunky yarn, it is working up really quick. So I actually started this the day the box arrived, and I think I was probably crocheting for, I don't know, 15-20 minutes, and I'd say I'm a third of the way there, so maybe a quarter of the way there. It's so soft, works up really quickly. So this is one project that I've got on the go. I have had another Crochet Society box since, but I've got a bit behind where I've taught myself to knit and started knitting socks. The boxes, I've got a bit behind on the boxes, but this one was super fun. We've got some sparkly embroidery thread, beautiful big hook, and these are all exclusive to the Crochet Society when you sign up to their boxes. Other patterns in this box were Opal the Owl, and what else do we have? The Aran cowl, which is really hard to see, but it does have, oh, where's my finger there, buttons and the thread detail, which is lovely, but I don't think I'm going to have much yarn left to do any of the other projects. We'll see. Also came in the box, yeah, as I just showed you, with the buttons, which were super lovely white pearly buttons in the moon and the star. So yeah, try and get them back in now. So yeah, that is the current Crochet Society box that I am working on. I think subscriptions out at the moment are for box 24. I think it's box 24. I think they're open until the 20th of May. Yeah, so that's this week, I think. So yeah, that is the Crochet Society box. Also, which came with the box were these twinkly lights, which, who doesn't love a fairy light? So I'll stick with crochet, and the next project I have is the granny stripe cardigan. I'll insert a picture and obviously link it. What have I got here? I've got 2 sleeves, so it's just a nice simple granny square stripe. There's 2 sleeves, and then I've got the 2 side panels. So these are both blocked, and at the moment the back is blocking. My cat Fernando really loves the blocking boards. I mean, he loves everything I'm making and always wants to be part of it, but yeah, he's very obsessed with this current project on the blockers. I don't have enough blocking box, I'm kind of blocking the back in sections, so we'll see how that comes out. This is another Paintbox cotton yarn. It's shade pistachio green, and this is for a friend's birthday in July. She had said to me last year that she wanted a new crochet cardigan and kind of hinted that maybe I could make her one, but it was getting to the end of summer, and you know, these things don't particularly come around quickly. So I kind of had looked at patterns and found the one I liked, and then I just had it in the back of my mind. So a couple of weeks ago I decided to get the yarn. Her birthday's in July, so that should be fine. I just need to seam it together and add the tassels at the end. So that will be done shortly once the blocking's done and the seaming's done. Seaming is not my favourite job when you're finishing garments or anything really. So that was also, this has been stored in Crochet Society tote bag I got in one of the boxes, the beach box. I'm not sure if that was this year or last year, but it's great for bigger projects. Yeah, and then lastly, what I'm working on this bag is the Musselburgh hat by Yoselda T. So I'm doing mine in like a foresty green colour, and the yarn is Cascade Yarns Heritage. It is colour 5608, and it is, I'm not actually sure what it's made from. Doesn't, oh, here we go. 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, and yeah, so I'm about halfway through, and I'm hoping this will fit me and suit me in the winter. I just love the colour on the picture of the pattern, and yeah, I love this colour, so thought I'd stick with that. And this is great mindless knitting again. Can just sit watching TV, knit away on it, and I'm trying to teach myself to knit without looking, which seems to be going okay. I can only do it for kind of a few stitches and I have to look, but yeah, it's getting there. It's super soft, and I find that with knitted crochet hats, they quite often don't keep my head warm, so the fact that this is a long tube that you put inside itself, and then you can fold over for a brim as well, should keep my ears lovely and warm in the winter. So yeah, this was good. It started off with DPNs and had lots of left-handed increases, right-handed increases to kind of get the spiral or the increase circle, and I was using Knit Pro Symphony wood needles, and they are quite grippy but they're also quite blunt, so it was a bit of a labour of love getting the increases in, especially the right-handed ones. But as soon as I moved on to the circular needle, it is just flying now. I mean, my tension's probably changed massively, but it's just absolutely flying. So I need to get myself some metal DPNs, I think. The Symphony ones are great when you're starting out because they're obviously grippy, but they're just a bit too blunt for me. But yeah, so it's in a project bag that I made myself, hand painted. It's a really great size actually for kind of one skein projects. So yeah, so that is everything I'm working on at the moment. And then talk about new yarn I have, or planned projects. So Kay from the Crazy Sock Lady, is starting her summer sock camp from the 1st of June. So I have held off casting on any socks until then. And I have 3 yarns that I'll be casting on. So the first one is another Opal, this Opal Comedy, and it's kind of blues and purples and greens and greys, and these are going to be for my dad for Father's Day. You'll see there what it's going to knit up like. So these will just be plain vanilla. I need to kind of use my boyfriend's foot as a guide. I think they're a similar size, and it'll just be a 64 stitch count vanilla sock. I think I'm going to do a 2x2 ribbon, and I have been using the Fish Lips Kiss heel, which for me is the easiest. Heel flap and gusset I struggled with. I think my tension is too tight and it's quite fiddly. The Fish Lips Kiss heel is great because you don't have to change needles, you don't have to change your stitch count or increase and decrease and pick up stitches and things like that. So it's really quick and I really enjoy it. So I'm gonna use that heel. So yeah, that will just be a plain, probably use 9-inch circulars for that one. The second yarn is very special. It's from Vicky Brown Designs, and it was her Make 100 Skeins campaign that started in January, shipped out the beginning of April, and I got number 36, which is beautiful. It's pinks and purples with some green speckles, and oh, it's so soft. It is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, pretty sure that's right. And this campaign was great. This is my first indie dyer, hand dyed yarn, small batch yarn, and it's very special. I can't wait. I'm not sure what pattern I'm going to use yet. I might just use a vanilla pattern again, just so I can see the beauty of the yarn. And I might try a different needle type. I might try the higher flyers, the steel ones, because I think I'm a pusher with the needle, so I think the sharp ones will cause too much damage. Or I'm going to try 2 circulars, 2 at a time, maybe. I might do these 2 at a time actually. Not sure yet, we'll see. So yes, this Vicky Brown Designs Kickstarter, Make 100 Skeins. I love it, can't wait to see how this turns out. And then last skein is another Cascades Heritage yarn in the colour 5660. It's kind of this grey, bluey grey colour, and I thought actually my initial plan was that whatever I had left over with here, I would either do full cuff, heel and toe, or just heel, or stripes in the cuff and heel. I'm not sure, but I'd like to pair these together. Yeah, we'll see how much I've got left of this, and this will be another method. Sorry about that. My boyfriend just got back and I got a bit flustered and embarrassed, so not actually sure where I got to, but 3 pairs of socks being cast on 1st of June, maybe a pair earlier as part of a test knit, but I'll talk about that at another point. But yeah, that is what is going on the needles, and next time I do this I will have a lot of yarn to show. I've just placed a big Lovecrafts order as they've got 25% off this weekend, and I had a couple of sweaters planned. They will be my first sweaters. Might be ambitious, but we'll see. And some more sock yarn. But yes, that's all for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. I'm not sure how often I'll do these. As I said, this is the pilot. We'll see how it goes. But I look forward to hearing from you in the comments and speaking to you soon.